Adoniram was in charge of forced labor. It's funny, the spot in the internet stream where I occasionally dip my feet in. Not long ago, it was all about efficiency and productivity and the app that will make scheduling a breeze and stuff like that. Now, that same spot is an endlessly rushing flow of articles on the Great Resignation and the nature of work, and bosses who hate work from home, and employees who refuse to return to the office, and rampant inflation. It's like we spend some time trying to fix work, and then we give up because it's so unbearably broken. And then we try to reinvent work, only to have to try and fix it again, and give up again, and reinvent it again, and fix it again. Adoniram, son of Abda, in charge of forced labor. And they told us when I was a kid to figure out what we loved doing and find someone to pay us to do that. And at the same time, they laughed that all of us wanted to play video games and make movies or music for a living. And so we found things that we were good at and that people would pay us for. We settled. But as soon as people started paying us to do what we were good at, we all started hating it. Even those of us who love doing what we're good at, even then, we hate it. Once it's work. The second it becomes work, we hate it. Adoniram was in charge of the forced labor. I hate my job. And what I mean by that is that I kind of believe that I have one of those jobs that in order to be good at it, you kind of have to hate it. I hate other people's suffering, and I have to be ready to hear all about it. Would you want me to love it? I hate that the people who need my help the most want my help the least. I hate preaching to the choir and having the choir only hear what they want to hear. I hate it when people agree with me because they think I'm saying what they already believe, and I have no power to stop that from happening. Would you want me to, if I could? King Rehoboam sent out Adoniram, who was in charge of forced labor. Okay, it's not a job. It's a calling. It's the divine call. So it's not even like I'm allowed to hate it because I have to do it because of God. And I hate that I hate it. And I hate that I feel guilty for hating it. And I hate work. And I get why everyone is quitting and why we'll reinvent work and that won't be any better. We'll have so much to fix about that too. And we'll all want to quit again. But all Israel stoned him to death. Because it's not the labor. That's the problem. It's the forced. We don't hate work. We hate having to work. Not just the need for work, although we probably hate that too. No, we really hate the moral obligation to work. We hate all moral obligation. We hate being told what to do because we want to tell ourselves what to do. We want to be in charge of whether we work or not, but we're not. King Rehoboam sent out Adoniram, who was in charge of forced labor, but the Israelites stoned him to death. And then they still had work. Because the sinful solution of murder to the sinful problem of being forced to do what other sinners tell sinners to do doesn't fix it. Our work doesn't need fixing. We need forgiving. We need someone else to do the work of saving us without hating it, not just because he's good at it and loves doing it, but because he's good and loves us. We need Jesus. And will he make work better? Nah. He'll make us better. Right? Righteous. Right with God and at rest in his love and ready for work, even work that we hate because of sin. Jesus loves us. He gives love to us. And love is the only way to enjoy what we have to do. Not love of the doing. Love for the people for whom we do. Love for the people for whom God loved and sent his Son to do the work of saving. There are things about my job that I hate. Most of all, the having to of it. But there are people that I love, with a love that isn't entirely mine. For them, I'd do anything, even something I hate doing, because for them, Jesus has done everything, and I'd love for them to know. You and I are dust and breath, loved by God, bought by Jesus. This podcast is written and produced by me, Ethan Cherney, a pastor at Bethel Lutheran Church in Menasha, Wisconsin, member of the Wisconsin Evangelical Lutheran Synod. Outro music arranged and performed by Mr. Peter Shawy, who is like the Nile. Keep in touch. Reach out to us on Twitter or Facebook at Dust and Breath Pod, or send an email to dustandbreathpod@gmail.com. Or you could write us a review, recommend a episode to somebody else. That's the only way other people find out about the show. Now go, do what God called you to do, be who God made you to be, see what God can do with dust and breath and faith in Jesus, his Son.